Well, we are rounding out the Triple Threat box set with Shanghai Shanghai, a film that it feels like I've seen this before, or I've seen something very similar to it. It's just one of those films that I'm just not sure. Now, this one gets a big thumbs up from me because it's got Yun Biao as the main character here, and I always loved this character. I feel like he did some amazing films and has a really great career, and the fact that I'm still discovering films that he made is just an absolute joy. This is from 1990, directed by Teddy Robin. So in this one we have Yun Biao, who stars as Little Tiger. He's from a small village and he's come to the big city to find his big brother, Big Tiger, who turns out to be the police chief. And this is a period set film where we have Little Tiger slowly starting to be drawn into the world of gangsters and criminality, all putting him on the opposite footing of his big brother. And you kind of assume that's going to bring a certain aspect, but it really doesn't. You know, it's not got sibling against sibling here. They're both kind of good guys and they stay on the good side of the worlds that they are in. The bad guy in this one is played by Sammo Hung, who has a moustache twirling role as the malevolent grandfather bad guy in this one. There's a whole subplot about revolution, and it just feels bang average. It starts off strong. There is some good moments with the characters as they're introduced to the situation, as you get some early action set pieces. As we meet Yun Biao, we understand where he's coming from. A little bit of that forced humour and some odd musical cues around about this point. But as it settles into the story, it settles into ultimately what becomes mediocrity. It doesn't really rise above that after it. You kind of know roughly where the story's going to play out. You don't really become invested in any of the characters' struggles, the interactions with the other characters. They just seem to eke by, and it becomes almost infuriating at moments because it's a lavish production. The sets are terrific, the costume is wonderful, and the staging for that action set pieces are great. It's everything that surrounds it. It's the sort of story, the narrative is just not that fascinating. It's not holding my attention throughout the film. And as I sit and watch Shanghai Shanghai, I like aspects of it, but it never pushes me into really loving the film. It seems as though this is a film that's more concerned with creating mood and building the characters rather than the plot mechanics. You know, we'll just let that figure out. It's nice in that aspect because it really does create Shanghai as a kind of romanticised version of that. It's an almost dreamlike space where violence just suddenly erupts, disturbing the moments of calm and tranquility within this wonderful place. And it feels closer to a sort of tragic romance, really, than a straight crime thriller. And I think it's the lack of finding that bite, finding the tone that they want to go for. They want to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it never quite focuses its attention. So it becomes not as resonant as some other films like this. Shanghai Shanghai is a kind of mood-driven crime drama, but it tries to add in a little love story. It tries to add in some comedic, physical, laugh out loud moments that don't quite work either. Some of the characters are a little bit silly. The finale with the way the brother arrives into it is again something that's came back in the film several times, but it just feels a little bit out there and not really real in this world that they've built, so kind of breaks the mood that they're trying to build with that tension. It doesn't have that kinetic energy that I would expect from these kind of Hong Kong moments, but it's fine. It's got Yun Biao, there is some decent action, is I kind of watched it once, don't think I'd go back to it again type of movie. Let's dive into the disc, have a look at the extras. Here we are in disc 2 of Triple Threat with Shanghai Shanghai. Now we have the film here with the original Cantonese mono, the English dubbed mono, and an audio commentary by Frank Zheng and F.J. DeSanto, and a trailer for Shanghai Shanghai. There is also a 24-page booklet with this release, with an article by James Oliver on The Big Boss, all about Sammo Hung, which is a great read as well. That's the extras for Triple Threat Disc 2. There we have it. The third film in this set is another one of those, that's fine, nothing more than that. As a set, these are 3 films that are for completists, people who really want to have all of the Eureka Classics or want all the kind of martial arts films that they can get their hands on. It's not something that's going to take pride of place in your collection or something you go back to again and again. In fact, I think the only one I would really go back to is probably Paper Marriage, but not for a little while on that one. I'd love to know your thoughts on Shanghai Shanghai. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon membership program, manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.